Hi everyone, and welcome to the second video in my introduction to chess video series. So in this one we're just going to look at the battlefield and the armies in general, and in the most general level how pieces move around that battlefield. So first, the battlefield, chessboard. It's a square board of 64 squares arranged in an 8x8 grid in a checker pattern, and the squares are alternating light and dark squares. There are 32 of each, as you can see. And the squares are always called light and dark. The pieces are white and black, and the squares are always called light and dark. It's helpful to separate those terms. There are a few other names and terms that are useful to know when talking about the chessboard. There are horizontal rows. These are called ranks. The vertical columns are called files. So there are 8 of each. And then there are also the diagonals. They're just called diagonals. I think there are technically 30 diagonals on the chessboard. So that's the battlefield. What about the armies? Each player starts with an army of 16 chess pieces, which you can see on the right and left here. They're not on the board yet. And on the battlefield, those armies move around and do battle with each other. And the way they move around, in general, is that a chess piece can move to any unoccupied square within its range of legal movement. So the chess pieces, they each have their own personality and the way they're allowed to move, and within that scope or ambit of movement, a chess piece can move to any unoccupied square that it can move to according to its personality. The other thing that pieces can generally do is that they can capture any piece, any enemy piece, that stands on a square to which you can move. So this black king could move to any of these 7 squares, or it could capture the white pawn on this square, like that. And it's very important to understand that when you capture in chess, you don't jump over a piece like in checkers or something like that. You capture by displacing the piece that you want to capture. So you remove the captured piece from the board, and your piece takes up residence on the square vacated by the captured enemy piece, which goes to the side of the board in jail or whatnot. So that's basically how to move and capture in chess. You cannot move to a square occupied by one of your other pieces. Remember, you have to move to an unoccupied square, and you can't capture your own pieces. Instead, you're said to be defending a piece. If you are you can move to the square, you could move to the square on which your ally stands if it wasn't standing there. And another useful term is that if you're threatening to capture an enemy piece, it stands on a piece you could move to, then you're said to be attacking that piece. So this black king is attacking the white rook and defending the black pawn. All right, that's the chessboard and how the pieces generally move. Next, we'll look at the specific 6 types of chess pieces and how each of them move.